Hello tanks and tankettes, welcome to a bit of live gameplay, and no, don't worry, it's not going to be that again. A theme of at least some of the comments under that video, I don't have to say which one, concerned the fact that having sinned horribly, I should probably pay some sort of penance for it to try and atone for my heinous sins. And I was thinking, what would be a suitable punishment? And then I thought, you know, there's at least one other CGC in the game. Now this is actually my second attempt at this video, so I've already gone through this experience and you'll see what I mean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 50% light tank crew in the CGC. I am going to replace all the modules with the stock modules. And I'm going to take all the equipment off. So does that seem like penance enough for you? Yes, in fact, we're going to go one step further, because I'm just a filthy scumbag player now at this point, so full HE, why not? So we'll demount all these, which fortunately at the moment is like half price, less than half price, so it's not costing me too much gold. So there we go, I'm going to play a fully stock Churchill gun carrier with a 50% crew from a different class of vehicle. This is literally as bad as it gets. So, if this isn't penance for my horrible crimes against high tier tanks, I don't know what is. So this is a, good matchmaking. I mean, I'm firing HE shells with a stock gun, so it's not going to matter. I'd be as useless either way, but I already know exactly how bad this is going to be. I tried recording earlier, and the recording itself, I thought it had gone fine. Then I checked the video, and it was, I don't know, the frame rate was completely derped out for some reason. I actually had to go and restart my computer and have another go. So here we are. So this is snowy Ruinberg. There's actually maybe a chance I can get close enough to some enemy tanks to do some damage, because one of the previous games was Arctic region, I think, and I basically ended up driving in a big circle around the map very, 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 very slowly, because with the horrible, awful driver that I've got, I can't even reach the nominal top speed of the Churchill gun carrier, and it's not like this is a fast machine to begin with. So we've got a BDR that's coming along this way. We might stick on this this side then. But yeah, look at this. Look at this. Stock tracks with what is essentially a 30% driver. Now, I was originally just going to drop all the modules and take all the equipment off. And then I remembered, actually, with the crew, Sercon had done a very similar thing. Except he did it in a KV2. So the results were naturally hilarious. But with this, it is anything but hilarious. But if it was hilarious and fun, it would be much of a penance now, would it? So, yes, I'm not. I don't think I could get away with walking through the streets naked with somebody following me with a bell and saying shame, shame, shame. But I think this is about as close as it gets, and I'm spotted already. This is bad. I should have stayed in the bushes. I really should have. I should have pointed out what my crew was like as well, because I'm actually. It's 100% crew at least. Whoa, hello, artillery. They're not great, but that made me jump. Yeah, they're... Oh, yeah, I'm going to die here, aren't I? That's Churchill 3. Yeah, well... Anyway, there's only about 3 tanks here, so... This is going well. I'm actually bouncing some shots here. It's not going to last very long. There is enemy artillery. Oh. And there we go. But tier 6 at this time of night. Well, this was very, very short, so what we'll do is we'll wait for this battle to finish and we'll come back to it. And I'll have another go. So, there we are. Unfortunately, we lost that one. It basically came down to this Cromwell B giving the game away. Now, he had a decent score and he did a decent amount of damage, but he was not playing to the strengths of the Cromwell at all, and as it turned out, he didn't have a fire extinguisher, so the one shot that did hit him set him on fire, and then he burned out, so that was not so good. I was also not quite last place, except I kind of was. I was joint last place with this this tier 3 tank. Yeah, so is that tier 4? I think it must be tier 4. So, yeah, that was pretty bad. And we actually, I mean, if we were going to win, it would have been because of the heroic efforts of this guy, who I think is a Hungarian player, going by the flags that were on the side of his tank. But, yeah, as for the rest of the team, yeah, some of these top tiers we're not doing very well at all. I mean, look at this jerk down here. So let's give that one more go. That wasn't quite painful enough. I died too quickly. I didn't get to experience the full measure of suffering that is this setup. Because if I'm just put out of my misery that quickly, what's the point? There was actually some suggestions that I should be changing my name to things like Pointy Head Sith and whatever. Maybe I should, if I play this enough, for every CGC game I play one of these, maybe I should change my name to PointyHairedJedi. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue somehow, but you get the idea. So again, top tier. Still artillery though. Hopefully I won't go as much this time. I don't know why. Sometimes that just catches me out. Like, I know there's artillery, and then it makes me jump. But, of course, most of the time you don't get to see it. Oh, that's a stock Churchill. So, yeah. So, we'll see. Oh, this is painful. This is just painful. So, I don't quite know where to take this, because, frankly, wherever I go, it's going to take forever to get there. And once I'm there, and I'm stuck there. But that's kind of a problem with the Churchill gun carrier when it is fully elited. That is not unique to my current configuration at all. Look at this. I mean, it's not quite as bad as the T95, but it is nearly so. At least in theory, this has a higher top speed, whereas the T95 is never going to go any faster. Also, that stock BDR turret, yeah. I missed the stock ARL turret. I actually, you may have seen it, but I did a video because with patch 9.10, there were many things coming along in patch 9.10, and obviously the big one was the Japanese heavies, but one little overlooked thing was the fact that the FCM F1 turret got taken out of the game entirely, so that was a little bit sad. But maybe that will pop up someday in War Thunder as a premium tank, because there's other multi-turreted monstrosities like the SMK. Although, War Thunder, I don't know, they seem to have done... I don't follow the news from War Thunder that much, but they've done something with, maybe to try and improve queue times or something. They've compressed the battle ratings, and they seem to have dropped some of the daily missions, and I don't know, they've done a whole bunch of stuff which seems to have not made people happy, and it basically has, matchmaking wise, gotten worse. It seems like the equivalent of World of Tanks going back to +3 matchmaking again, that kind of thing, if I'm understanding it correctly. So yeah, I don't know. It's been interesting looking at the Steam chart, and obviously, lots of people just boot it up through the client and don't play through Steam, but the kind of fluctuating numbers of players, and especially the people with quite a lot of hours logged in the game that have just called it quits. But from a business standpoint, that isn't necessarily what Gaijin cares about. Anyway, I'm kimping bush and thinking of topics because there's not a lot to do. Otherwise, if I drive forward, I'll die. We've got a very big cluster of heavy tanks there, but that means we might have a good chance of taking the hill, maybe. Although, if they go up there, we're actually going to cap this, aren't we? No, they're making a dash for it. Yeah, this would be as bad, almost, if we ended up capping. This would be... I mean, it would be over just as quickly, except in the opposite way. And then I would have to explain all over again why capping gives you absolutely terrible experience. But I don't know, it's... I mean, I can understand when people go, yeah, but everyone goes on about win rate. Well, kind of. I mean, the people that are obsessed with stats are probably more talking about WN8 than they are win rate, and these kinds of victories are terrible for WN8. I mean, sure, it bumps up your win rate, but it's basically empty win rate. There's no... you're not doing better alongside that extra win rate, necessarily. Oh, I can actually shoot that KV-1. I'm almost certainly spotted here, because... Of course I am. Oh, I fired my gun this time, you know, and hit something. It didn't do any damage because HE into a KV-1 is yeah, this is like 90 mil HE. Is it even 90 mil HE? I'm not sure. It's not good. And he's gonna burn. But there's enough allies around here that yeah, it's not gonna matter. So if this was the top gun on the CGC, I would have wrecked that guy. It does at least have a good gun. It's just a pity about the platform it's attached to. And the only other machine that gets that gun is the Tortoise, which was actually the gun that the Tortoise was equipped with. But yeah, by the time you get to the Torty, why the hell was he using that gun? That gun at tier 9, not so good. So anyway, this enemy team has just kind of collapsed a bit, I guess. I mean, there's a... Oh, there's an enemy K1S. And, oh, there's the Panzer, who's firing Pren, which is totally necessary against a Churchill gun carrier, as we all know. Now, if I can... Actually, it'll be the Stug. If that guy was there. Yeah, it'll be the Stug that's back there. And, boom! Yeah, I want the OI with that derp gun, and we capped. And actually, yeah, there's one tank left alive, and it's the Stug, but his the amount of hit points he's got left wouldn't have a really significant impact on people's scores. But yeah, that one was just as short, really, and I did hit the KV-1, but again, bottom of the team. So there it is. Completely stock Churchill gun carrier. That's 4 games in this I've played today. I probably should have just stabbed a fork into my leg. It would have been quicker. But before I do quickly wrap this up, I will show you the normal crew of this because it might amuse you. So first off, we've got the commander, Billy Warren, because, you know, of course it had to be. We've then got gunner Murray Walker, driver James May, which is particularly appropriate, and the reason why this novelty crew is here, by the way, is because of James May. And then we have loader Alan Partridge. Now, James May actually popped out as a randomly generated name, and from that point forward I just went with it. I think he was actually originally a driver on my Black Prince crew, and he then somehow ended up on this crew because I didn't need my Black Prince crew for the heavy line. I think I had I can't even remember what I did with my British heavy crews now. It's been that long since I went up through the British heavy line. But anyway, he's ended up here. And it seemed appropriate because, of course, he is Captain Slow. So anyway, was this penance enough? I leave it up to you to decide, dear internet, and decide you will. So let me know in the comments below. You can hit the like button, of course. If you aren't already, you can subscribe to my channel. And, as always, stay tuned for more.